In DayZ, there are no children, but the buildings meant for them are still here. Schools across Chernarus are structurally intact. There's no sign of bombardment, fire, or collapse. These buildings weren't destroyed, they were left behind. Inside, classrooms show disruption. Furniture is displaced inconsistently from room to room. This suggests hurried movement, not prolonged fighting. Schools in DayZ contain very little loot. There's no evidence of scavenging or long-term occupation. Whatever happened here, it didn't last. Blood is present in some school buildings. The height and pattern of it suggests adults, not children. Staff responders or others who entered later. Across the entire region, there are no infected children. Adults turned everywhere, in homes, hospitals, and streets. But children are completely absent. In real-world emergencies, schools are often used as gathering points, central locations designed to hold large groups safely. The environmental evidence suggests people were moved through these buildings quickly, before the infection reached its peak. But movement doesn't mean escape. There are no graves linked to schools, no records of return, no indication that those who passed through ever came back. DayZ never explains what happened next. It only leaves the space behind. And in Chernarus, what's missing matters as much as what remains.
On Deer Isle, the land remembers people longer than people remember each other. Footsteps fade, names don't always. But some stories stay. Sprocket's one of them. I never heard her announce herself, never needed to. You just notice things. Doors already checked. Fire's already cold. Trouble already gone. Like someone had passed through and decided the world could keep going another day. They say she's been farther than most. Through places that rot your courage before they rot your boots. Old concrete cages by the sea. Swamps that breathe back at you. Stone temples swallowed whole by green. Even the frozen north, where the cold feels personal. She came back quieter each time. Not weaker, just heavier. Old Town is where her shadow lingers the longest. Red hair catching the light. Green jacket worn but steady. Moves like she knows every corner because she probably does. There's a pink teddy bear clipped to her pack. Brian. People laugh when they see it. They stop laughing once they understand. She sharp-tongued, says the wrong thing, pushes people away without meaning to. Wants company more than she'll ever admit. Lonely in the way strong people usually are. The island shifted recently. Paths changed, old answers stopped working. She didn't argue with it. Just packed up and moved on. That's the thing about Sprocket. She doesn't rush endings. She survives until they're ready for her. And when she finally walks into the last quiet place, the island will remember her, even if she forgets herself for a while.
They say the world ended loud. Gunfire, sirens, screams. But what came after came quiet. down the cracked roads and rusted cities, survivors whisper about something else. Not the infected, not the hunger, not the cold. They whisper about Nick Nightmare. No one knows where he came from. Some say he snapped the first winter when the food ran out and the radios went dead. Others swear he was already broken long before the world fell apart. All anyone agrees on is this: if you see him, you don't get a second chance. He doesn't hunt like a man, he waits. A campfire burning too long, a laugh carried too far into the trees, a sense of safety that shouldn't exist anymore. That's when he comes, always wearing the mask. No face, no eyes, just the hollow stare of something that no longer needs a reason. In his hands, an axe, chipped and dark, older than most of the survivors who fear it. They say he doesn't rush. He walks slow, certain, like he already knows how it ends. Sometimes you live, sometimes you die, and sometimes you never knew he was there at all. Entire camps have been found slaughtered, tents still zipped, fires still warm. No signs of struggle, just silence and blood soaking into the dirt. No gunshots, no warnings. Only the marks left behind, carved into wood or walls like a calling card no one wants to read. People argue about him at night, huddled close to the flames. He's not real, someone says. He's just a story to keep new survivors scared. But every group has that one person who stares into the dark a little too long. The one who lowers their voice and says, "My brother saw him. My friend never came back. I heard footsteps, and then nothing." Nick Nightmare doesn't chase legends. He is one. And somewhere out there, while you're warming your hands by the fire and thinking you're safe, he's listening. He's listening.
You hear stories in Livonia. If you stay long enough, most of them aren't true. But this one keeps coming back. They say she came from other lands, places that tried to rebuild and failed. Deer Isle, Generous, names that don't last. She used to be gentle, helped everyone, built towns where people slept without weapons in their hands. Then people took advantage of that, betrayed her, used her kindness, took someone she loved. That's when things started to change. They say she still wears the same clothes, cowboy hat, mask, red boots, same scar over her eye, same white teddy bear she never lets go of. But sometimes she adds a poncho. And when that happens, folks stop smiling. Some swear they've seen her carrying a cleaver like it's just another tool. Others say there's a sword on her back. And once, a little red dress that didn't belong in a place like this. Nobody agrees on what she's called. Some say Kimberly, others say Luella. The smart ones don't say anything at all. She lives in Brenna now. Quiet town. People trying to be decent. Funny thing is, bad things only seem to happen to people who hurt her, or the ones she cares about. Maybe it's coincidence. Or maybe when the world pushed her too far, something inside finally pushed back. So if you're ever in Brena, and you see a woman in a cowboy hat watching the road, be polite. And if she's wearing a poncho, don't stay long enough to learn why.
The world didn't end in fire. It faded. Like an old screen losing signal. Colors bled out. Sounds fractured. And the last voices of civilization dissolved into static when the brad cans stopped. Most people panicked. Some ran, some hid, some became monsters. And one stayed. They don't remember his real name anymore. Only the name that survived everything else. Scary talk. Before the collapse, he worked in a hospital. Respiratory therapist. Airways, ventilators, breathing. The thin line between life and silence. He had a wife, a child. The end of the world found him at work. A patient came and seizing bite marks fevered. No one knew what it was yet. They intubated for airway protection. Tube and ventilator on routine. Then the monitor flatlined. He rushed in with a nurse, hands hovering, ready to start compressions. That's when the patient woke up, violent, unrecognizing. It lunged, teeth snapping, but couldn't bite. The tube was still in its mouth. The nurse tried to pull it free. She did. It bit her neck. He killed it with an oxygen tank, checked her pulse, gone. Before he could think, he heard it, groaning. Not from the room, from outside, through the windows he saw them gathering, patients, staff, visitors. An ambulance arrived. Lights flashing. They swarmed it before the doors opened. That was when he understood. The hospital was already dead. He ran, not away, home. He burst through the door. The house was wrong, blood everywhere. His wife was gone, then he heard it. Groaning, scratching from the bathroom. Inside was his son, wearing a white hockey mask, one he loved, one that made him feel brave. The boy lunged. There was no recognition. He would have died if not for the mask. He ended it. The hardest thing he ever did. He took the mask, put it on. He hasn't taken it off since. After that, he became whatever survive required, but not careless, not cruel. He learned early, chaos kills, crowds kill, noise kills. So he watches, he waits, you'll feel him before you see him. A soft disturbance on your radio, static where there shouldn't be any. A fire that lasts longer than it should. Supplies arranged neatly while you slept. Paths that feel guided instead of random. He does not chase, he does not announce himself. He observes not who deserves to live, but who chooses to. Follow him and you will lose him. Pass him by and you'll realize he never left. There is a rhythm to him. A patient signal buried in static. Tick, tock. Sometimes he helps, not loudly. Not always, only when it matters. He leaves no footprints, no evidence. Only the quiet understanding that your story has been seen. And in Chernurus, where silence is the rule and existence is fragile, being noticed is not a threat.
its recognition, its meaning. And sometimes, that's enough to keep going.
People call him Spike. I don't know if that's his name, or just what's stuck. He never corrected anyone. Someone worked out he was ex-forces, British. That's all anyone ever knew about him. No stories, no details. No correcting the guesses when people filled in the gaps themselves. Just that. He wasn't loud. Didn't push himself to the front, didn't take charge unless nobody else did. Most of the time he stayed just off to the side, watching. Like he was measuring the space instead of the people. You noticed it when things went bad, panic would start spreading, and he'd already be moving. Not rushing. Not freezing. Just acting. Like he'd already accepted how it was going to end if nobody did anything. If something was a bad idea, he said so. Once. If nobody listened, he didn't argue. He wasn't there when it started. He'd already moved to where it could be dealt with. I never saw him enjoy violence, but when it was necessary, he didn't hesitate. When it happened, it was fast, controlled, no shouting, no wasted effort. Then it was done. And he was already checking exits while everyone else was still catching up. He traveled light, kept his gear clean, checked his weapon every night. He didn't stay anywhere where the ground didn't read right, didn't wait for it to explain itself. He said once that ground signs warn you early, the mistake is staying long enough to argue with them. He wasn't heartless if someone needed help, and helping didn't put everyone else at risk. He did it. No speeches, no promises, just action, and then silence again. Most couldn't keep up when patrolling, not because he moved fast, because he didn't stop. I asked him once how long he planned to stay with the group. He looked at the road instead of me, said, as long as it makes sense. That was it. But when the world stayed quiet in places it shouldn't have, when plans fell apart before the noise started, when someone says, it was over before I realized it had started, someone always says his name more like an explanation. Spike. Not a hero. Not a monster. Just someone who understood early that standing still was the worst option of all.